This week, we're reviewing our first tablet in the Encoding.com Labs series, the iPad. As the definitive leader in the tablet market in both device sales and OS installs, we figured there's no better way to dive into our tablet testing. Much like they did for mobile devices with iPhone, Apple has set the standard for a highly refined and functional tablet user experience. When it comes to video playback, the iPad is no slouch either. Robust support for HLS ensures seamless playback regardless of network conditions. Supporting features like closed captions and OVP playback work flawlessly in most situations. One of the things that differentiates the iPad from its smaller iPhone cousin is inline playback. While iPhone will not play inline in most situations, iPad will allow for this and started support with audio-only streams with OS 4.0. The 4th generation iPad has a 9.7-inch screen with a resolution of 2048 by 1536. The pixel density is 264 ppi, and the screen is a LED backlit IPS LCD with a capacitive touchscreen and 16 million colors. Apple recommends the following parameters on iPad. First, H.264 video up to 1080p at 30 frames per second, high profile level 4.1 with AAC-LC audio up to 160 kilobits per second, 48 kHz, and stereo audio in M4V, MP4, and MOV file formats. Second, MPEG-4 video at 640 by 480 up to 2.5 megabits per second, 30 frames per second, simple profile with AAC-LC audio up to 160 kilobits per second, 48 kHz, and stereo audio in M4V, MP4, and MOV file formats. And motion JPEG up to 35 megabits per second, 1280 by 720, 30 frames per second, audio in ULAW, and PCM stereo audio in the AVI file format. As you would expect with an Apple device, HLS is the preferred format for delivering video to the iPad. We've tested several samples and playback was flawless on all of them. Additional features like scrubbing also worked perfectly with HLS on iPad. OVP support was also excellent. Brightcove, Vimeo, YouTube, and Vidly were all tested and video looked great. As we saw with iPhone, closed captioning did not work on the Brightcove sample we tested. iPad offers no native support for DRM, but custom apps can be built using Google's Widevine, Adobe's Primetime, or Microsoft's PlayReady. Because of Apple's long-standing support for HTTP live streaming, this is our recommended format to serve to iPad. We offer advanced HLS support to ensure optimal playback. The video codec used should be libx264 and the audio codec should be HEAAC. It's worth noting that HEAAC is great for the HLS 64 kilobit fallback audio due to its higher quality at lower bit rates. Dimensions should range from 416 to 234 with a video bitrate of 200K, audio bitrate of 64K, frame rate of 12, keyframe of 36, and H.264 profile of baseline, all the way up to 1920 by 1080 with a video bitrate of 8500K, audio bitrate of 128K, frame rate of 29.97, keyframe of 90, and H.264 profile of high. In addition, we recommend 2-pass encoding and our V3 segmenter, which supports Apple's new recommendation of 9-second segments and dramatically reduces overhead for low bitrate files. Apple's iPad dominates the tablet landscape, and it's easy to see why. It's a pleasure to use, especially for video consumption. With leading-edge support for HLS, quality video playback is guaranteed in most situations. And that's this week's episode of Encoding.com Labs. Check back soon for our next episode.